Good morning. My name is Cliff Austin, and today is number 7 of the Elaine Picard 30-day challenge, Create 30 challenge, 30 paintings in 30 days. This is number 7. Here's the image that I picked to paint. And the panel I'm painting on is an old painting that was very unsuccessful, so I just turned it upside down and I thought I'd paint over it. What I normally like to do is to start out with some kind of a grid that helps me get proportions. So here's a third. Just roughly a third. And it helps me keep my proportions together. Then I'll do a quick sketch from the photograph. Kind of help me get my location of pieces and parts. It helps to have a grid to have an idea of where things are going to go. That way the pieces and parts don't get too far out of kilter. And then once you have that, that's basically all I need. This is an interesting composition where we have this big round shape, this round, and a couple diagonals going through here along the horizontal, and this pinwheel thing going on in here. It should be a very good composition. It should be a good painting. So I'll spend maybe the next 20 to 30 minutes getting it roughed in, and then I will finish it off camera and post it on Instagram or Facebook and see how it goes. My next step is to put in the darks. I usually work from dark to medium to light, from cold to warm. My palette is a basic white, cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, cadmium orange, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, sap green, dioxazine purple, and ivory black. And I use a lot of palette knife. But I like to start with a scrub brush just to put the darks in, and keeping your darks fairly thin is always helpful. So I want to get this dark shape in there, and this dark shape, which has got some blues and purples in it. I'll probably exaggerate the colors a bit, but we'll see how it goes. So that's dark, and that's dark. And we have this dark over here. And scrubby wise, I guess that's about all I'm going to do with that. I'll take a medium-sized brush and try to indicate a little bit more information, or detail if you like, to get some of this going on in here. Just trying to define some of these edges. So I'm drawing and painting kind of at the same time. Painting is really more drawing with the added burden of color. And since those are more darks, I can now move into some of the medium values. And they would be this I would imagine. Then in there, kind of the stream colors, which is really, really blue. This foreground blue is more cerulean. The background blue is more gray and dioxin purple with ultramarine blue. But it's kind of like this dark color here. It's a nondescript, and because it's in the background, I want to try and keep it in a grayish field, right? And towards the front it gets more pure. So I'm going to try and keep that as pretty a blue as I possibly can. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Spread that out a bit so it has kind of a triangle shape, kind of making it look like a lead-in kind of a shape. Probably use some of that for shadows over here too if I wanted, just for grins and giggles. So a top tip, when you use your brush, clean it, put it away, so it'll be ready for you the next time. And we'll mix up some of this grayish gold shrubbery color. I'm using burnt umber and some yellow ochre. On my palette also has got some liquid. The liquid is a fast drying medium to help things to dry fairly quickly. The blues and the whites tend to take a long time to dry, so I will add just a little bit more liquid to those. The earth colors seem to dry just fine, but I want to get some of this color in there. And I wanted a really smooth consistency. I know some artists like to paint with thick and heavy scrubby colors. I like mine kind of like the consistency of summer butter. Not quite melted, but soft. So we're just going to put some of that in there. The panel I'm painting on is an old picture. A painting that wasn't really very successful. So I just turned it upside down. It has a lot of texture on it, which is kind of fun. I like playing with texture. As we go back in the distance, it gets lighter, cooler, and softer. Got a little bit of purple back there, so I'm going to add some dioxin to this yellow ochre. The yellow and purple are complementary colors, and so they're going to gray each other out. And it's got to be lighter because it's going back in the distance. And it's got to be softer, edgewise, so that it looks like it belongs in the background. And it's just a big shape, so I'm just going to cover that whole shape in. Now there's bright orange in there, that's really cool. It's a yellow orange, so I'm going to take some orange, obviously, some cadmium orange and some cadmium yellow, add a little bit of white white to it, and that's going to gray it down just a little bit. And then put it on the canvas to see if it's too much, too whatever. That looks pretty darn bright. That might work. Let's see. Now I'm working towards the reflection in the water, and that is a different temperature. It's a different value. So I'm going to use a little bit of alizarin, which is considered kind of a cold red, and mix it to that orange petal that I had before. A little bit of cad red, a little bit of alizarin, a little salt, a little pepper. And I see that's really, really intense, and I want to kick it down a bit. So a little bit of blue makes it a really nice color. It looks like it's a little too red for me. I'm going to go back to the orange. And a little burnt umber to darken it a bit, gray it out a bit. That looks a little bit better. I want that to be soft right in there. In comparison now, I look at this shape against this shape against this shape against this shape. Looks like it's a little too intense. So maybe I can put some darkness down here, just to bring it down a little bit. A little blues to gray it out a little bit. Soften the edge a little bit. Now I want to make sure this is kind of in the same field. I like the purples in there. Purples against the oranges. This orange has got yellow in it. Really is going to make that look pretty. So I've almost got all my major shapes in there. Now one of the things I need to do is finish out the values. And that would be the snow shapes. So I'm taking pure titanium white, mixing it down with some liquid so that it's soft. That's a little contaminated with some of the blue, because white isn't, like black isn't one of the most favorite things. And we're just going to put some color in there. Just make a little bit of magic. Cool. What fun. Now I can go back in and refine those shapes. So I see that there's a little bluish purple right in there. Now it's fun to look like an eye slowing device so you don't go too fast. around the corners here. Nice branches and stuff that go all over the place. Set that edge a little bit. That's kind of cool with that. These willows. This might be a little too dark, so I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. And I'm just going to make this look waterish. It's kind of brownish something over here. But I don't want it to be too dominant. I just want it to be off to the side. So I'm going to take a little bit of this gray and just bring that down. Just do that. Cool. So all we need to do now is put in some fine detail and finish it up. At this point, you can take it as far as you want. You can refine and shape and move and push, add and subtract till you get it to where you really feel comfortable with it. The end stages of my paintings, I usually use liner brushes, these little guys here, and I can add branches, sticks and twigs, and little bits of information that seems to help. You can make things dark. And we can make things really light. So when you're putting in these fine lines, the paint needs to be a lot thinner than what's on the canvas, otherwise it just doesn't seem to adhere properly. But light touch, just barely kiss the canvas. And you got this really cool painting. So I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to finish this painting off camera and post it later as number 7 of the Alain Picard Create 30 Challenge. And thank you for watching, and don't forget to make comments. Have a great day.